to watch some 6 StarCraft, you're in the right place. We got a PvP Classic versus herO. A big top-line matchup. Classic on top here, tied in 2nd place, essentially, at 5-2 against herO, who's sitting down near the bottom 2-5, but a fantastic Protoss player.
A very important map for herO, certainly, and you can see their head-to-head right there. Very close, very even. Even recently, they've been trading back and forth matches. Most recently, I think Classic overcame herO in the Ballistic Sprawl online, but this is offline, so a very different environment. But I feel like you can really see the stats there versus their opposing races. Classic is just the king of PvP. He developed that very strong air toss style, then innovated the triple Stargate Oracle, and he's still been doing very, very well in that mirror match.
Is the big favorite in our Facebook live poll event, 68 to 29.
Sick Facebook analysts.
Yeah. Wish we could get some more votes on there. If you guys want to go ahead and vote, definitely go ahead on the
just
SSL Twitter.
Search SpoTV Games on Facebook, and you too can have your vote counted and shown here on air as either a blue thumbs up or a heart.
Yeah.
There you go.
What do you think in here, Rapid? Do you think herO's got a chance?
Yeah, I don't think so. He has looked pretty shaky. It's not that I'm voting against herO, it's that I'm voting for Classic. Super confident in this guy's PvP. He actually has 3 Zergs in his GSL group that are going to be played on Wednesdays, so no longer is he going to have to be practicing that. And that's actually what I heard in the Korean rumors thread, is that Classic is actually just practicing versus Zerg for his GSL group because he's already in a great spot in SSL. So get to see how well that impacts his PvP, because herO, after being eliminated from GSL, has had only this match to practice for.
Yeah. And I wouldn't blame Classic. I know some people out there would be like, oh, why isn't he preparing for this? But definitely in a group of 3 Zergs, you got to prepare for that matchup. You're sitting at 5-2. You're up against herO, one of the guys down towards the bottom in 8th place here in SSL Premier. You're already confident in your PvP. Just go ahead and do your best in this one, essentially.
Well, look at that, Valdez. 10th place in his achievement rank.
Ooh.
SMH, man. Oh. How does that happen as a pro game? No, I'm just kidding. Achievements don't matter, but they are kind of fun to watch. I love how we have that as our... It's like,
that's
what
a big
is his
stat.
highest placing? What is his total wins and losses here? What is his achievement? Okay, all right. That'd be that stat for you guys. But he
gotta keep it balanced, you know? Can't only put important stats up there. You gotta put totally irrelevant stats up there as well.
Yeah, gotta have only the most significance.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, for herO, this is a little bit of an uphill battle, but for Classic, a PvP kind of specialist, we'll see what he brings to bear. Lots of cool stuff happening in Protoss versus Protoss. Got Phoenix strats, Oracle strats, all kinds of stuff. What will we see here today? For herO, a lot on the line. Classic, kind of cruising.
Yeah, we'll see if herO can throw out some interesting builds here in this best of 3. That will be his best chance, I would say. Let's jump into game number 1 right now. Classic versus herO.
Fly, better fly.
Jin Air.
Oh, I didn't pause.
It's okay.
Well, here we go.
We're getting better.
Yeah, one step at a time. Well, this is Classic, guys. He is spawning as the red Protoss in the upper left-hand corner of Whirlwind. Spinning towards him in our radially symmetric map. It's that guy.
Yeah, that is herO. Root Gaming. And here we go. Big map to start things off on for Whirlwind, which was actually herO's first choice. His second choice was Frost, and then his third choice was Abyssal Reef. This guy doesn't want to be anywhere near Classic.
He's playing sick old school maps too. Frost and Whirlwind. Still in the map pool for SSL. All right, so Classic can be sending out the earlier scout, and he will scout in the correct direction and see the expansion first. Now, this is a big difference. A lot of times you'll see gateway expands very common in other matchups, but in PvP, it's very rare that we don't just see 2 gates to start.
Yeah, it definitely is, and that first scout here, as you mentioned, is extremely important for Classic. herO does see the probe, so he should know, with a quick scout that should have come from the top left, is probably going to check down bottom right first, and then maybe head up towards the top left side.
Should know where his opponent is now that he knows that he's not spawning below him. And as his probe heads out across the map, he probably knows what he's going up against right now. Just since 2-gate is such a strong opener, Classic here will have the burden of aggression on his side. He knows he needs to get something done, otherwise he'll just continue to fall economically farther behind.
Here we go, that Cybernetics core finished up here. It looks like Classic wants to try to break into the main with his Adepts. herO already does have that set up at the top of his ramp where he can wall it off, so he's going to have to be on the ball with those blocks.
Mothership core coming out here from Classic as well. I always wonder why we don't see more of that. Usually you see Mothership core from the defensive player, but as well as this Stargate now started in Classic, I want to see him be able to put on the pressure. This is where Classic has all the information he needs, and he's going to be sending the Mothership core across offensive pylon. Here we go.
That is sick. He can't build that pylon to block the wall now, and that means that the Adepts can just stroll on in with the help of the Mothership core coming over with those pylons as well. Okay, nice block here. Oh, not totally blocked though.
Oh, yeah, it's not a total block there. He does want to get through, but the overcharge will keep him out. Shade, though, will still be possible. He'll get into the main. The pylons in the main are going to be overcharged. Needs to get in on that. There's the overcharge, pushing the probes all the way away.
Already 4 kills here. The Adepts have been cleaned up. And now the Mothership core just hoping to get back to the safety of her pylon that's overcharged.
Oracle now coming up, and Mothership core is going to be forced to recall, or not. It has no energy, it has no purpose, but it's still there.
It's just for decoration at this point, like essentially.
Like the Christmas ornament you hang on your tree?
Yeah. Except it's not on the tree, and it's up in the top right corner. Just awkwardly sitting.
It's not a hover hand, it's a hover Mothership core.
Yeah.
Well, this Oracle coming in is going to be very difficult to deal with. And even if it doesn't get a whole lot of damage done, just the fact that it's there is, oh my god, it's so much pressure. All the Stalkers up front, it's not going to be in the main to stop this Oracle.
Oh, this is sick damage. I mean, he's just coming in here. Already 5 more kills on this Oracle. Trying to swing by. Looks like he wants to just save that Oracle and get out.
He does save it, does get out, but at the same time, okay, this is a cheeky, sneaky strat, right? If he doesn't kill that pile, okay, yeah, if he had immediately target, oh.
Whoa.
Nice one. You get the 2 overcharged shots. Behind this, Dark Shrine coming up, and there's no Robo, which is what our observers are pointing out. I think he actually wants to suicide these Oracles. Look at this damage. Oh my god, Valdez.
Think about this when there's no overcharge. Sounds like fun to me. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see for when that comes out.
He does scout the proxy pylon here, so herO knows about this. So herO chose to play a very distinct style this game. It's like, I go for the expansion, I have to defend. He does defend a little bit, but now, especially after those Oracles, he just took so many probe losses.
Yeah, that he did, and it looks like he's desperately trying to get out his own Dark Shrine. It's going to be behind the Dark Shrine of Classic, who also has a robotics facility to bury those into the main.
Yeah, more importantly, he has the ability to build overseers.
Yeah.
Or, not overseers, not overlords, observers.
Require more overlords.
Yeah, no, he doesn't require any more of those. No overlords in here. Observers was what I was going for there. You got it eventually, guys. Detection very important against Dark Templar, Valdez. That's my advice for everybody out there.
Yeah, definitely make detection if this is something you're going up against.
Big fan.
I know when you and I were playing our first remastered games, it was like my 5th game of Brood War.
Yeah, I dirty DT rushed you,
You DT rushed me. I'm like, oh yeah.
Of course, then I fail scout rushed you in the next game, so I gave it back to you. But here we go. Unscoutable DTs are going to be coming in. We'll be canceling that robotics facility if they want to go for that. Yeah, instant GG. Woo! Classic. Bops him out. The DT's OP. Game number 1.
Wow, he definitely wiped the floor with herO in that game. Sorry to say. Classic. Coming out fighting, coming out swinging, saying, okay, I know I'm the better player, but I'm not even going to play a macro game. Let's get some pylons in your main. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, pylons in your main, feeling that pain. It was probably the Classic not the player to go Nexus first against. It's a cool idea, and in fact, on a map like Whirlwind, maybe he's kind of playing the RNG, saying, hey, if he scouts me last, I can get away with this, and then I have that economic advantage. And he would have if we hadn't seen an almost immediate reaction from Classic saying, all right, double overcharge pylons in your main, block the front, the Adepts get in, the Oracles follow up. So much pressure for herO to deal with.
Yeah, definitely was pretty much the perfect response. I mean, even down to the pylon blocking the ramp so that herO couldn't put his own pylon to block the shades. That helped out the overcharges. Just everything going very right for Classic in that game. So we're going to be jumping into Overgrowth for game number 2 here. A bit of a shorter map, not as gigantic as Whirlwind. We'll definitely not be seeing any Gate Nexus core strategies on this one.
Certainly not. I just want to see a straight-up game. herO really, I feel like needing to return to his basics. He used to be very good, very strong in this matchup, but mostly off of his cleverness. Nexus first. Not very clever, just puts you a little bit too far behind it against a player like Classic. He knows how to punish.
Yeah, so here we go, guys. Game number 2 on Overgrowth, starting now.
Rising up and getting underneath your skin. Feel it turning to leather. Watch it peeling off the broke.
Here we go, game number 2 on Overgrowth. Down to the bottom left, the red Protoss. It is Classic.
The chin toss, bringing his pylons to bear early on against this guy. Our blue Protoss player is Root Gaming's herO. All right, Overgrowth, it's our second map here. Classic up 1-0. I think maybe this is expectable, but didn't expect things to go that way on our big map, Whirlwind. And of course, this is a much smaller map, and like you said, not going to be seeing any early Nexus shenanigans, Valdez.
Yeah, this would be the map that I think we will see just straight up standard PvP on. You know, no crazy strats, no weird DT rushes, right? I think that's part of the reason why Overgrowth has stuck around for so long, because it is a map that does essentially say, okay, we're going to be doing standard builds straight up, essentially, head-to-head.
Yeah, Classic's not so confident as we are about that. You saw he actually took a probe, and he scouted around the very edge of his base. Yeah. Last week, we saw Deer pull off an in-base Dark Shrine. It was the sickest play, just absolutely insane. But he made it work. So just making sure to scout your base early, definitely a popular thing to do now that Deer has broken the honor of Protosses and pulled out such a sneaky strat.
I always love watching Deer. Looking forward to his games later against Dark.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can pull out some other wonky strats against a different Zerg. But for now, we're stuck in PvP land, as things are pretty normal up until this point.
Now, I should reiterate that going into the playoffs, which will be happening a couple of weeks from now, Classic is one of our players stuck at 5-2, up towards the top of the standings. He's tied in pretty much with, I think, three other players for second place.
2 other players.
2 other players, right?
Well, 3 in total.
Yes, 3 total. There we go. That's what I meant to say, I promise.
Yeah.
But the Classic does need to pick up this win to secure himself a further placement in our Gauntlet playoffs. Here we go. This is not a scouting probe. It's coming to the gold base.
He's going to take some of these gold minerals and then stick around.
Okay.
I wonder if he's actually going to build a
No
Nexus
way he
there.
takes them.
He's not building a pylon. He's actually going to take the gold.
The absolute madman. There it is. Classic. Needs to scout this.
That is priority number 1 for our red Protoss. Those Stalkers, unfortunately, not going the right way.
Ooh, okay, decides against the Shade. I feel like if you go for 2 Adepts early on, those are not meant to face off against Stalkers. Wow, gold base. I just can't get over this herO in both game 1 and 2, deciding that he needs some sort of sneaky advantage to get a lead against Classic.
I hope herO didn't just tip him off. Okay, that's interesting. The Adepts multiple times on the left side of the map. Will Classic actually check it? Oh, he's thinking about it.
Dun, dun,
oh, man.
Dun, dun. Well, he's going to run these 4 Stalkers up, and including with the probe at the same time. This might just be too much to deal with. In order to go for a base like this, you have to have a mechanic to hang on, and sometimes it's just not being scouted, but with a Shade forward and a poke with 2 Stalkers up here at the front, is herO going to snipe one of these Stalkers? He might be forcing Classic back to the gold.
It'll be an interesting spot because even if Classic gets the scout...
Overcharge, overcharge. Oh my god, there it is.
Oh boy. I think he could have controlled his units a bit better. The Adepts could have taken out one of those Stalkers, but now, as you were saying, he showed Classic where the base is, and here's a pylon. He wants to get aggressive.
Indeed, he does. More Stalkers being warped in, and there is that pylon overcharge, but the pylon's a little bit too far back, targeting down, focusing these Stalkers, and it's a decent defense so far here for herO, but he might not have too much. He's going to Shade forward and pick off Stalkers. He's pulling some probes, but those are just transferring. Okay, all right. Sorry, I got a little bit excited there.
Looked more epic than it was, but cool thought anyway. herO could have fought with those if he wanted to, but coming in here, forces another overcharge, wants to pick away at some of these probes.
Decent focus. You saw as soon as Classic scouted herO's base, he immediately threw down the Robo facility. Immediately Immortal's coming out, and he knows what he needs to do here. But also the Oracle for herO. The Oracle for herO, there we go. Coming in and getting a lot of kills. Now there are lots of overcharges, but he is very mindful of those and saves the Oracle.
Oh, nice block here at the same time. Gonna deny that. Takes out the pylon. In the meantime, and Classic's very quick response to the gold base was not quick enough, as herO has stabilized.
Is this how you kill Adepts, herO? Is that what you do? You get both of them down to half HP? Oh, he's not going to kill either one of them. They will get in and kill a couple of very valuable gold base probes. herO's pulling back now. Okay, he has gotten a natural expansion, so he's even on total bases, but he's not mining from it yet, so Classic really might want to put on the aggression here. He did go for the Robo and has that Immortal out.
Yeah, it was definitely an option for him, but I think the Oracles are scaring him a little bit. Coming into the main, double overcharge almost picks off that very weak Oracle. Oh boy.
The and one last second shot from the Stalker will pick it off. Now, this Immortal makes this, just like that M. Night Shyamalan movie, pretty unbreakable. Nice force fields will help get a cheeky Adept kill, but they shade into the main.
Oh, there's nothing here. The Mothership Core laying down its final overcharge, but the probes now even getting to the fighting. Looks like they're going to return, but yeah, we got this push coming in here for Classic. Trying to snipe that War Prism, that would be huge.
No blink here, so he can't get in and take it out, but War Prism survives. This is going to be very difficult to hold. There are overcharges back at home, and it's going to be very necessary to push this back.
That Immortal is gigantic in this push. The probes are going to be pulled, but even some Zealots coming in here to help out with the flank. Oracle doing nothing, being sniped out of the sky, and the War Prism, more importantly, was kept alive by Classic.
This is too much damage, Valdez. The Immortal, like you said, so crucially breaking through that pylon and even breaking through this base. This is herO's lifeline in the game.
GG.
GG Classic. No early bases allowed versus the chin toss.
Bibbity bobbity boo for him as he 2-0s herO. That was not close. I was expecting a little bit more of a fight given by herO here, but totally dismantled by Classic in that series, who now jumps up to 6-2.
Yeah.
He's up there. He wants to get into that first place spot. He wants this season of SSL.
Yeah, if Stats loses today and next week, then all of a sudden we could have some crazy upsets in the standings. Our top 4 players kind of shuffled around a little bit last week, but nothing really changed. They're still all 4 very clearly head and shoulders above their opponents. For this week, you kind of could see that Classic maybe a little bit stronger, but I just wanted herO to try to play a straight-up game. It feels like maybe there's a mental block there saying, hey, herO's really struggled against Protoss lately, did lose 2-0 against Classic most recently, and so might have just been thinking, I need something to get a leg up, but Next High aren't one of them.
Yeah, I mean, he had a chance with, okay, that was guy number 3 on tonight's broadcast. But
somebody tweeted us and suggested we put like a moat of crocodiles and sharks up here.
Well, I mean, if we could cover the entire ground with them, because it's not just like right in front of the desk, but it's like all the way back through
make
the
floor
crowd.
literally lava.
Yeah, the floor is all lava. You gotta fly into your seats. Fly, better fly, Jin Air into your seats. Always got to use that opportunity to
any chance we get
sponsors. But yeah, that was pretty. It was a fun series. I really liked the games just because herO was doing some pretty weird stuff, and Classic was like, no.
Not allowed.
No, just no.
Instantly threw down that Robo, the Immortal, basically Immortal, just pushes across the map for the win.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now we're going to be jumping into Maru versus Stats, and Stats definitely the favorite coming into this one, but Maru is pretty hit or miss. We'll see if he hits it tonight.
Yeah, especially last week when he took he went 0-2 against Dark. I was like, oh, wow, Maru should be okay there. I mean, Dark's a great player, don't get me wrong, but Maru, ever since he was sort of demoted from the 4 Horsemen as Gumiho won GSL and just really solidified himself as one of the best Terran players in the world, kind of shed some doubt on that. So we'll see how Maru does when he faces off in our third match of the day coming up.